So I had a rough summoning session, and I couldn't look out at the end if you guys saw that video. I managed to finally pull through and got Celica a week later. And even though I got her, I didn't know whether or not I should be happy or sad considering that I got a 5-star Emir at the end of it. With some regrettable sacrifices, which I won't get into, so you can maybe think about what I did. Regardless though, I'm still satisfied anyways because Celica is the next broken support character that just got released in the global side of Langrisser. And it really shows if you just read about her. And when you see gameplay of her, oh man, this character is on another level. So I'll be showing you guys to prove this, just how broken she is. Not that I really have to prove anything about her. And of course, how to build her. So her talent increases her int. After using a heal or assist skill, its cooldown is reduced by 1 extra turn. After taking action, can choose to replace the skill used on that turn with 1 or 2 random skills. 5-star is where she wants to really be in, so that she can choose 1 of 3 random skills instead of 1 of 2 random skills. And that is really important because what you really need to know is that the skills that she gets actually categorizes itself based on the column. The skills that you do get is based on whether if you use the 1C skill or 2C skill. So if you use like any of the 2C skill that she has, you won't get like a 1-cost skill like the normal heal skill. Instead, you get something like mass heal. If that was still hard to comprehend, then I really recommend checking out the showcase section to see what I'm talking about so that you get a good understanding of what it is. Her mage class gives more HP, int, and defense, while her holy class has more magic defense. Despite the mage being better, holy is still a great choice to go with to have synergy with Lightbringer. It also gives AoE damage reduction, whereas her mage class gives magic defense reduction when being range attacked. It's all up to you what you prefer. With the Master Stones, I would go HP, int, and defense all across the board. Then the Arena Stones, you want a defensive set. Her best soldiers include Forest Priest for extra healing and dispelling. Shrine Maidens will most likely survive being one-shotted if they're at full HP. The only thing to worry about is fixed damage. Crystal Warlock has good survivability and really great sustain power that can reflect physical attacks. Her best weapon will be the Night Bloom to dispel debuffs. It's the number 1 best in slot. You can use any of the increased healing effect weapons, Red Moon, Blue Moon, then Queen Scepter. The armor you want is Thxs. It's really the only best thing right now for mages. Nebulous Robe just for the HP. Then your last best bet would be something like Galaxy Cloak for the magic defense and small HP increase, Twilight Guard for more healing. For the helmet, to offer support, you want something like Thxs to provide a random buff, Electric Headwear for the displacement immunity, Earmuffs to offer damage res and fixed damage immunity, E-Drizzle, which is mainly noticeable in regular content for stun and mobility immunity, for survivability, Glory for the small healing and Revive for fixed damage. Just make sure to be in mixed forces for that healing, which is a tough situation for her, then Dark Crown. As for the accessory, Holy Ring is one of my personal favorites for the silence immunity, which is a huge deal for Celica since she wants to be always doing something every single turn. It's something I would use if you don't have something like the Swordsmith medal for the bulk while having fixed damage immunity as well. Juggler Plushie is great to use for extended turn duration on a single target support skill, Goddess Tear to dispel debuffs, Heart of Redemption for more healing and fixed damage immunity. I really recommend either of the first 4 since you'll get more usage out of them. With the enchants, you can use Crystal for more healing, you can do Full Moon for the stats increase, which you'll see people mainly use it for the bulk. You'll even see people run Breeze just so that she can catch up to her teammates. The kind of enchant stats that you want is HP, int, and defense. Mainly go for HP and int since it's less complicated to get. Alright, so now that you guys have an idea on how to build your Celica, so to anyone struggling with the first awakening stage, let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so for this stage, you're gonna be up against Adon Kelmo, Elise, and then Amadeus. Now the skills that you want could be something like her 1C for the skill cooldown if you really need it. Of course you want to bring a single target skill. Now with the random skills that you can do, there's something even better that you can get. Then the last one, I really recommend having a 2C skill because there is a skill that you can get that's going to be really useful. With the skill cooldown, you won't exactly really need it for what you're going to get. Instead of this, you can have a basic heal skill if you really need it. Soldiers I recommend are Sorcerers for damage. It's really great to survive against Adon Kelmo because of the magic defense. Dark Alchemists, they have good sustain power, who can attack very well and attack from 3 blocks, but only know that these soldiers can only attack from 3 blocks and not Celica herself. Crystal Warlock are the best for survivability, but just know that you won't be hitting as hard. If you don't have the Sorcerers upgraded, then Wizards will do just fine. Alright, so the first thing that you want to do is just start spamming her Thxs skill, because the skill that you want to get will be Attack Blessing. That'll be really easy to get if you have it at 5 or 6 stars, because you have one more selection to get, so it's easy to categorize where it's going to be at. So yeah, just keep on spamming away. If you have to reset, if you get too unlucky, then it's something that you may have to do, just like I am. I am not getting Attack Blessing whatsoever. The reason why I'm struggling right now to get Attack Blessing, which I just got, is because at 3 and 4 stars, the middle column where you get the skills actually combines what you get at the middle column and the one at the bottom, which I go really deep in detail whenever I do the showcase. Anyways though, I'm gonna go ahead and Attack Blessing finally, and then we are gonna keep the Attack Blessing. We're not gonna switch it out. Now if you guys don't know what Attack Blessing does, you do more damage while taking 50% damage reduction when attacking, which is really huge if you're going up against 8 on Kelmo as your first opponent. So we'll go ahead and attack 8 on Kelmo, and you can see how much damage that we took. Barely anything. Now the skills right here are something that I really don't want. I'm gonna keep the Windblade one just in case, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and use her other 1C skill, because the one that I really want is Lightning. Lightning does super effective damage against Cavalry, so you will be doing a lot of damage against them, which is something I couldn't get, and I actually took the Freeze Strike skill, so I have to use it in order to switch it out. With Attack Blessing and at least being in my range, we're gonna go ahead and finish her off. Now at this point, I don't really need it since I'm gonna be one-shotting Armadius. So now it's just all about me just trying to catch the Armadius right now. When you are facing 8 on Kelmo, just make sure to stay away within next door block, because she does have an AoE. Same thing with Elise. But yeah, couldn't get Lightning, but we one-shotted them anyways. Plus the last 2 enemies are really weak against magic attacks anyways. But yeah, mainly what you're looking for is just the Attack Blessing. It's really going to be beneficial for you if you're really struggling with this. If you get really unlucky, then I would reset to try your luck again. And with that, you should definitely be able to clear this. You know, Celica also has healing skills too, so if you take damage, just heal back up, and then you're good to go. Alright, here's a 3C. One of the greatest reasons why Celica is broken. So this thing has a short cooldown that reaches 3 blocks. The passive on it, after using an assist or heal skill, you can use that same skill on an ally who has Mana Essence. When she has this, her range increases by 2 and does more damage. When using this, you can apply Mana Essence to a single ally, where they heal after battle, buff duration is increased by 1 turn, and gets a revive. When Mana Essence is removed, the cooldown of this 3C is increased by 1. After using the skill, she can act again. Mana Essence is a unique buff, ignores immunity and cannot be dispelled. Using the skill does not trigger her talent replacement skills. You guys saw that, right? This thing has no turn duration, so the only way to get rid of it is by killing anyone who has this. It's permanent until they die, which is dumb. So your tanks can have 2 revive. Put this on any cracked out attacker like maybe a soldier or something, and they're busted. I do really like how you can use it on Celica too, which turns her into like this attacker, which is pretty funny to think about, which most of the time you're not going to be doing that. And the fact that you can act again too. So put this on anyone like, let's say, Angelina, and then you use her unique 2C, she applies 3 stacks of that, and then she uses it again, and then you have the maximum stacks. She can even do double healing, double buffing. It's broken. Short cooldown too. This long games never holds back whenever they make new healers. So if you guys are curious, this is what her 3C animation looks like. Alright, so to anyone new around here, normally with the second awakening stages, most of the time they're never really hard to do, which is why most of the time I don't really do them. You do get characters that you can use, and they're really reliable. It's always letting the enemies come to you, and you take advantage how dumb the AI is. Plus you got Celica to help out your teammates. Have her apply some buffs on them, and you're good to go. Alright, so with that being said, let's go right on into her showcase. So here we are. Let's go ahead and take a look at her talent. Her int increases after using a heal or assist skill. Its cooldown is reduced by 1 extra turn. After taking action, can choose to replace the skill that was used on that turn with one of 2 random skills. So the cooldown is pretty simplistic, right? But there is a thing to know whenever you use your skills. So we can go ahead and use her unique 1C. I'm just going to go ahead and use it randomly, and then afterwards, she's going to get some random skills. So we see the top slot is a heal skill, and the second one is a single target skill. And you can choose what you want, and then she will have that for the remainder of whenever the next time that she wants to use it. And then you can go ahead and use that skill that she got, and then you'll still have the skill randomized. And so now we got another set of skills randomly to get. Now this does look different between whether she's at 3 or 4 stars and 5 or 6 stars, because 3 and 4 stars, you'll only have 2 slots. 5 and 6 stars, you'll have 3 slots, and these skills will be categorized. So that's why having Celica at 5 and 6 stars is going to be really beneficial, because the skills that you get won't be as diluted. It'll be more organized. So the first slot will be healing related. The second slot is usually like the buffs, and then the third slot would be like a special buff, like attack blessing, the more powerful ones. However, being at 3 and 4 stars, the second slot will actually combine the second and third slot together. Meanwhile, the first slot will always be healing related. So yeah, if your Celica is at 3 and 4 stars, it will be a really great idea to shard or Gate of Fates. Otherwise, you'll find it really annoying to get some of the more useful buffs, like for one of her Once skill. It heals a single ally that reduces the cooldown of the target skill with the longest current cooldown all the way to 0, and it'll get the cooldown equivalent to the amount reduced. So I had my Tabas use a skill that's on a 4-turn cooldown, and then we're gonna go ahead and have Celica use it on Tabras. It should be 4, but thanks to Celica's talent reducing any assist skill by 1 turn, instead of 4 turn, will be a 3-turn cooldown. This thing has no limit, by the way, so it can work on Tia's Thxs, which has a 9-turn cooldown. Even Wilder 2, his Thx, which is the longest cooldown that I've seen on any characters that you can use, which is a 15-turn cooldown, and his Thx is pretty powerful too. But as far as I tested, it does work on NPCs. If not, then some of the NPCs. Her 2C, a 2-turn cooldown, grants the target 3 stacks of armor affinity, increases the chance of triggering equipment resonance effects by 15%. When a buff is dispelled, armor affinity will be prioritized first. But what it doesn't tell you is that each stack increases it by 15%. So 15 times 5 will be 75. Plus when stuff like Clock has a 30% chance of activating, that is a 105% of it to activate, which is guaranteed to do it all the time. You know the potential with all of this? It literally makes any characters who runs Clock always stay consistent. And that is pretty broken, especially for PvP. It is undoubtedly broken by all means. And one of the reasons why I was so excited to pair her with Angelina. Like, I'm literally having my Tabas run around, and she's literally activating her 3C all the time. Activating her unique 2C all the time. Every single turn. Like, it just doesn't stop. As long as she always has 5 stacks of this, she will always stay consistent. Not only just on Clock, there's also Thorns, Ice, those kind of stuff. You'll always see that activate every single time. And now finally, her broken 3C skill. It has a 2-turn cooldown that can reach 3 blocks. After using an assist or heal skill, can recast the same skill on allied units with mana essence. When she has this, her range increases by 2 and does more damage. This thing applies mana essence to a single ally, where they can heal after battle. Duration of buffs from Celica are increased by 1 turn, and gets a revive. When mana essence is removed, the cooldown of this 3C is increased by 1. For using this, she can act again, which ignores immunity and cannot be dispelled. That does not trigger her talent replacement skills. So let's go ahead and apply this on Tabris. Okay, so look at that. A permanent revive. This thing has no buff duration. Look at that, we got the healing after battle, where you do revive for 20% of your HP, so you can easily get 2 tap on fixed damage. I want to show you guys this. Take a look at this. Apply her 2C, right? We're gonna apply it on Tabas, 3 stacks, and then she's gonna apply it again, maximum stacks. This thing has such strong potential if the revive wasn't obvious enough. So you can see stuff like double healing, double buffing. You can also use this as a way to provide buffs or healing from far away. That's also what it's good for. Buffs from Celica should be extended to 1 turn, so Rosen's heal skill should be normally last for 2 turns, but thanks to Celica applying her 3C, instead of a 2-turn, it'll be 3 turns. So she's gonna go ahead and do her thing again, double healing, all that good stuff, you know? And then we're just gonna go ahead and just like pick prayers, I guess, get some heals going. And we check out, oh, we get another buff from Tenyos. I do have that on her. And look at that, Rosen healing lasts for 3 turns. We also got the damage res too, even the attack up too that I got earlier. So yeah, it's just only from Celica only. She's the only one that can extend these buffs. And then we do have Tabas die, she revives, does all those stuff. And then Celica does a thing. So the earlier turn, Celica's 3C was ready, but now it's on a 1-turn timer. And this is just so that you don't spam it right away. Otherwise it'll be even more broken than it already is. But I'm not done yet. Just look and watch this. I'm gonna go ahead and apply it on Tabas who just recently lost it, Celica's gonna do her thing, apply all that stuff again. So Tabris, who just lost the revive, gets it back. Like, this is dumb. You don't get punished for losing it. Like, Celica really has no consequences. So I had Tabris lose a revive once more, applied the same thing on Tabris, and look at that. She gets revived once more. So not only can you apply this as many times as you want, but it's spammable. Like, who thought this was okay? What you should know is that only one character can have this 3C buff one at a time. Multiple of your allies cannot have this. So you can see that I had Celica just use it on herself, and Tabris just lost the revive, lost the 3C buff entirely. And Celica herself now has a 3C buff. So she can act again moving 3 blocks, she has a range of 4 and does more damage, but you're never ever gonna see Celica use it on herself. I mean, yeah, sure, the range is nice for the extended range for buffs. I can apply attack blessing from far away, but why use the 3C on her when it's gonna be so much more useful on literally anyone else? It's weird how they like gave her this kind of range and more damage, expecting her to be this kind of like pseudo damage dealer when she's really not. You don't want her to be, because the support that she provides is so crucial for her teammates, and that's what you should really expect from her. Also, during recording this, when I was messing around with Celica, I just found out that if you have tier and have that thing mimic Celica, the mimic Celica will have the same skill as Celica, so that thing can use her 3C, act again, do whatever else, and when that disappears, it'll stay there, right? And then Celica herself can use her 3C on someone else, and so the Covenant that copied Celica, its 3C buff won't go away. So you can actually have 2 revives, just when I thought it couldn't be even more broken. And if that wasn't enough, look at this trick with her 1C skill to refresh her skills. So one of Angelina's skills is on a 2-turn cooldown, Wetham has a 6-turn cooldown. I'm gonna go ahead and use her 1C on Angelina that refreshes it by 2, right? So you would think that it would do the same for Wetham, or some of you guys would think that it would fully refresh it. Take a guess right now which one is correct. Will Wetham's skill be reduced by 2 turns based on Angelina's skill, or will it also fully refresh his skills? So did you guys guess? So Angelina's skills got refreshed, but Wetham, his 3C, which was on a 6-turn cooldown, got fully refreshed. It actually does combine the 2 skills together to come up with the cooldown, which should have been 8 but it's 7 because of Celica's talent. If you're gonna mess around and combine the 2 characters who has the longest cooldown that I know so far, there might be other characters that have longer, most likely longer than Thxs, but I just can't remember who actually does. Oh my goodness, 23 cooldown. That is crazy. Imagine you accidentally misclick and then you gotta deal with this. But I am so dumbfounded with all the stuff that Celica can get away with. It is so absurd. Overall guys, do I really need to say any more about Celica? Do I? She is the most versatile support character by anything that we have never seen before. Like the closest that we've seen is Eshian, but Celica just brings it to another level. She is literally broken. It feels so wrong to even have this much fun using her too. Mainly when it comes to using her 2C skill, just straight up spamming clock all the time. So it allows a lot of characters to be consistent all the time. Really comes in handy in regular content, but in PvP, I feel like it's really going to be unbalanced. There are definitely going to be like some characters who can really take advantage of that with the way how their kit works. The way how her revive works is something that you would never think about that would actually be a thing. What makes it special is that it's really spammable. Although you do get kind of punished for it because it extends the cooldown by 1 after that ally dies with it. Try your best to have them survive an extra turn and then apply again. Rinse and repeat. It makes me even wonder if Slong Games were even thinking before they were even designing Celica, with the way how all the stuff works. I really do feel like some of these stuff are really unbalanced, so it may come to a surprise to some of you guys for me even saying this, that I kind of wish that she had mass attack to go along with her replacement skills. I kind of wish that she had that. Now the reason why I think that they didn't is maybe because of balancing or something. I mean, look at her revive, look at her 2C. It's really abusable. Like, did he think that it'll break her even more? I mean, I feel like this would be all fair in game. Some of you guys may hate me for even saying this, but the reason why I'm even mentioning it is because the only negative part about her is the randomness of what skills that you'll get. It's really the only part that you'll stress over, but come on, it's not a huge deal. Celica might come down in history as Langrisser's most unfair, unbalanced, broken, OP character to date. So to my PvP enjoyers, 100% ban her. If there comes a day where Celica gets power crept, then it's gonna be a horrible day. We might be doomed. Alright, so that was Celica's showcase. 100% get Celica. She's a must summon for everyone. Perfect for all kinds of situations. Although there will be times where Rosencio will do a lot better job in regular content, where you need the extra healing and to ignore debuffs. Which is why I still like Rosen a lot more, because I always feel safe using her. But in situations where that isn't an issue, then Celica is the character to use for that insane support. So there will be back and forth between those two. But if you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and feel free to let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about Celica, and if you guys managed to pull for her, because I hope you guys did. And good luck if some of you guys haven't gotten her yet. Celica is so vital, and you're definitely gonna miss out a lot. So yeah, thanks for watching. Your fellow Z.